Okay, everyone. So I recently got some comments on my flue vol system, the CO2 injection system. I think it's a 45G. Just kind of showing off my tanks a little bit here. But this video, I'm actually want to focus on this flue vol because I feel like people have been experiencing some issues with it, and I actually have realized a couple things now. It's been a while since I've had it. So in one of my videos, I said overnight you want to take the diffuser out for the night so that you can clear the airline in the morning with water. Well, I actually noticed that after a while of using it, the diffuser is like broken in and it's less porous than when you first get it. So I've actually been able to, when I open this valve in the morning, I've actually been able to just be very easy and very slow and just get the bubbles to start, and then the water will actually push through the diffuser now, and then as soon as I know that it's about to reach the diffuser, I shut it off altogether and I let the water completely clear out of the airline, and then I open it up again. If you don't do that, what will happen is you'll blow through a lot of CO2 because as that pressure releases from the airline when the water is passed through the diffuser, it'll just start ripping through CO2. And you don't want to do that because obviously you want to save money and you want the canister to last for a long time. Now, someone had commented that she's experiencing, he or she is experiencing the blowout in the diffuser no matter what they do. I have a feeling that what it is opening this valve too rapidly. You really want to be careful and just open it a little, and you won't see any bubbles. A little more, and as soon as you see bubbles, leave it, let it do its thing, and then maybe shut it off and make sure that airline is clear. You'll start seeing some bubbles diffuse, and then when you start seeing bubbles diffuse, you can start opening up to get your rate right. Right now I'm at about a bubble every second or so. That's about what I found to be the most effective. And another thing you might want to know is if you're using a hang on the back filter, I kind of have it in a way so that the water flow spreads the CO2 throughout the tank evenly, so that I get a nice distribution. But if your water level is too low, it'll diffuse the CO2 off of the surface of the water because of the water breakup, the surface tension breakup. And if you get that water level higher, what I notice is when I come back after work at the end of the day, there's actually a film of, you can't see it now because actually my water level is a little low, but there's actually a film of CO2 that forms around the top, and that's how I kind of know that I have a saturation of CO2 in my tank. It's been very successful. I consider this a success. I've got some sword plants doing very well. My Java fern in the back there is taking off. It's allowed me to introduce shrimp with no problem into this tank. I don't think that the fish are negatively affected, but you really do want to be careful and not. I haven't had an issue because I started off with not introducing too much CO2, and I kind of slowly got the fish acclimated to having the CO2 in the water. I feel like if I was doing a drip of CO2, like more than like every half a second or something, I think it'd be too much, because you can definitely see sometimes that the fish are gasping for air, and you just want to feel your tank out. You kind of know when your fish look stressed and your fish are gasping for air and they're not doing well, versus when they're very comfortable and they look natural and they're schooling like they should be. So it really is a touch and feel kind of thing, and your system is your system, and you're only going to know how it's affecting in a negative or a positive way. So I hope that everybody has learned from this, and as this system matures, I feel like it's easier to work with. I think that the diffuser is really porous in the beginning. When you first get it, it's so porous, in fact, that it'll blow that airline off, and if you have baby fish or anything, it potentially could kill them. And but since I've had it, it's kind of like broken in, and I've actually just been able to leave it in the tank, no problem. And as long as I'm careful when I start it in the morning and I just get a few bubbles going, enough to let that airline clear of water, and then turn it off and then slowly turn it on again so that I don't waste CO2, it's been working out great. I had another comment actually that someone asked me, how long does this canister last me? Well, it really does vary. This one's lasted me a long time. I've had it for like over a week, and I've been using it every day consistently, and it's lasted me quite a while. I've only gone through about half of it. I've noticed that if I do make a mistake and I blow tons of CO2 through the diffuser, it doesn't last me, like it lasts me maybe a week, versus if I don't do that, it lasts me almost a month to a month and a half. So it really depends on how much you're injecting. If you're not injecting every day, it'll last you 2 months maybe, or as long as you're doing a drip about every second throughout the day, and you're turning it off at night. But I also noticed that each canister varies. Like some canisters come more filled than others, so I think that the Fluval's got to work on their consistency with their canisters that they send out, because I noticed this one in particular, it's lasted me a really long time, but it didn't max out, versus ones that I've got in the past maxed out, but it was almost too much, and it was very difficult to control the valve. So let me know what you all think. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm interested to hear other people's experiences. Thank you.